Hello, my name is Braden Wong. I've been a performing member with San Jose Taiko since 2022.
Hi, I'm Franco Imperial. I'm artistic director for San Jose Taiko. I've been with the company since 1998. And this is On
On
the
the
Mat.
mat.
Composition, composing philosophy for San Jose Taiko. So I don't have a prescribed composition process. I like to let people explore and figure things out. We have a lot of composers in San Jose Taiko because of this that do it very different ways. So I think as somebody that's considering composition, they get to see a variety of ways to do it. Some folks are better composing by themselves, a very kind of isolated experience, and some people need to just constantly bounce ideas off of other people. I am always making sure that the composers have what they need, whether it be practice time or talking through their own process, what it is they want to do. So hopefully you felt that, Braden.
It
So
had it had a lot of kind of moments, I'd say. There was definitely a point for me, Day of Remembrance 2024, where after that there was kind of this spark of I feel driven to produce something and to create it. But I remember approaching you after that, and you said, the same thing that everyone's path's different. Everyone has different ways that they kind of make or produce. I think for me with Dōbutsuen, it was a lot of that. Of what if I tried using GarageBand on a digital format? What if I tried writing it in a notebook, which is historically what I used to do for collegiate taiko also. Um, and I've known personally that I've always been I just kind of need to shut things out and kind of isolate my own mind.
mm-mm.
But also this time around, it was a lot of where can I draw outward inspiration from, either instrumentation, things that we've done before, different genres of music, different kind of motifs on that front.
That's great that you already know that about yourself in terms of the way you work. Because some people, and it's totally fine, are maybe not aware of what their preferences are. So they're figuring out as they go.
For your compositions when it started out versus where they are now, has the process changed?
I consider no song finished.
Mm.
So that's one thing about me in particular. I let go of that idea that this is the way it's got to be forever. So it takes a little bit of pressure off if you just say, as a composer, this is where it is in the moment. This is how it speaks and connects to what we're trying to do, and then know that the group changes with different performers coming in and out, and the times are changing. So being reflective of that and making composition something that is fluid
Yeah.
in some ways, it takes a little bit of pressure off. I think my first composition, I was like, oh no, this is it. You got to get it,
Hmm.
quote, right. And I think over the years, I figured out how to let go a little bit. I put a lot of trust in the performers in San Jose Taiko, and I think we're super lucky to have a group of talented, artists that can do all the things that you need them to do, or like interpret and figure things out on their own to make it better,
Yeah.
make the song better. I can't say that the process has been the same any two songs that I've written.
Hmm.
So the first song I wrote in less than a day. I had a dream about it, and then I spit it all out, and it was
Mm.
done
Okay.
in a day. And I have never had that experience since, because it was kind of jarring, because I was like, oh man, composition is easy. You just kind of, and it has never been the same since then.
I think for me, when I had come out of Day of Remembrance 2024, it's rooted in activism. It's rooted in culture and community that's very relevant to me. And with the current climate, with the current state of the country, um, it really made me want to try and voice something that can't be voiced. And it's kind of this celebration in your confining environment of how can we find this joy wherever it is, despite the setting that we're in. And where it kind of ended up with was I wanted to make it a party. I wanted to make it a celebration of being together and coming together. I think that coming together with key and with energy was what was important for me. And with what we have for RS-25, I really like it. Um, Potentially in the future, there might be more ups and downs melodically. There might be inclusions of other instruments, but I think Dōbutsuen for me kind of signifies a burst of ki, having contained it for too long, having contained too many other emotions, but eventually coming together to kind of just send it out.
It's great. I love
Yeah.
that you're connecting your background with animal sciences to social justice and joy. I don't think there are a lot of other uh, things that we do where you can express those things in the same space. I love that. I love that. That's so great.
For me, there was one moment that I had found when I was composing, at least for me, what I had thought would be the main line of
Mm-hmm.
Dōbutsuen, that I was kind of similarly locked into how do I need to make this fit
Mm.
within my confines. But I remember working originally with other folks and getting different inputs. It kind of naturally evolved into, but why does it need to be that way?
Uh-huh.
What if it's a different way? Or what if you just break down those confining fences and things and just see what happens? And I think for me, that's a point of fear of I feel like I have no more control over it. What's going to happen?
Mm.
But then there's been positive times where it's like, wow, I didn't think it could ever go this way. Now I want to pursue it down this path. But then there's other ways where it's just, ooh, that sounded really bad. Let's wind it back. Let's not do that ever again. But I think having overcome that hurdle, it definitely made me more comfortable with experimenting and in a way being wrong and being right, or more just kind of, oh, that's not how I wanted it. Let's just reel it back. And just kind of being okay, kind of taking steps backward. It kind of helps going forward in that end.
Yeah, and you have a lot of latitude in terms of a transition
Mm.
because a lot of times when I first joined San Jose Taiko, it was either uh, it was like writing your first song to debut at Rhythm Spirit in front of hundreds of people. So it was a lot of pressure. I mean, there were a lot of deadlines and a lot of things so that we delivered time. But as your first composition experience, I felt like we need to lower the barriers for access
Mm.
for a composition. So open the idea of, oh yeah, transition, that is composition. A junior taiko song or a senior class song, any other kind of work. I mean, that's composition too. So it made it a little more approachable. So for a transition, also, you're dealing with like 30-ish, 40-ish seconds, and so given the runway that we like to give our composers going up to like a production like Rhythm Spirit, like there are a lot of ways, there's a lot of opportunities to still tweak. You
Right.
make a change, and it's relatively easy to do because it's just this short. Yeah,
Going off of that
yeah.
too, knowing of a transition and the flexibility of it,
Mm,
that helped me not so much think about, oh, it has to be this length. It then became a matter of how much can I produce with the time that I have, but then also having that flexibility of, well, I could make it almost like a building block tower of I can take out this and put in this, or I can change out the back and put in a different back line, things
yeah.
like that. Um, and for me, at least moving forward, I definitely want to continue working on Dōbutsuen, but now it's the matter of, well, for this transition at least, I made some sacrifices to switch out some instrumentations. But I think now, having seen it played and seen it performed, all of a sudden my mind's changing all over again of like, well, I like that. Maybe we can add on top. Maybe we could switch it out. Maybe there's different versions of it, a transition version, a song version, a concert song version, things like that. And so for me at least, I like producing songs that has flexibility.
That's probably one of my favorite parts of the process when you have so many options and you can just play,
Mhm.
there's so much potential. And then less fun part is as you get further on, you have to make decisions, and because you have a deadline, it's got to get performed, and then it's a little bit less fun. I love the beginning of the composition process
It's kind
because
of
it's
just like a
yeah, you can do
blah,
anything,
there's
right?
everything's on the table.
I think you've done a great job because usually a first composition experience, we call it kitchen sinkism,
Mm.
where you have all these ideas and you want to cram it all into one song where it could probably be 3 or 4 song concepts, but
Mm.
you've done a great job with Dōbutsuen having this very essential core kind of vibe that you want to get across, and it works well going from the songs that they're between in the program. So yeah, nice job with that.
Thanks.